Been growing the beard, as you can see, and I'm liking it. I like the beard. But what do you think? I want you to vote yes or no on whether or not I should keep the beard. And since my votes count too, I'm voting for the beard. So it's 1-0 so far. What do you vote? Do you like it? Or do you want me to shave it off? Or should I shave it in a different, should I do the Wolverine? Should I do the goatee? Should I do the handlebar? Or the Raleigh fingers? Raleigh fingers. Alright, so I'm on my way to Winthrop, Washington for a show at the Old Schoolhouse Brewery. Just made it over the Cascades through the Snoqualmie Pass, which is always a bitch to drive through. Never an easy voyage over the Cascades, but I made it, and now I'm on Route 970, headed north, because Winthrop is on the east side of the North Cascades, and the only way to get there in the wintertime is to take 90 and then shoot up on the other side of the Cascades. If it was the summertime, I'd be able to take 5 all the way up to Route 20 and then just go over the Cascades that way, which is shorter, I guess. We gotta go around because they close Route 20 in the wintertime. I've heard a lot of interesting things about Winthrop, so I'm excited to see what it's really like. I've heard it's an Old West kind of rebuilt town, but not in the corny way, not in the touristy way, the classy Old West way, which is my kind of style. So I'm looking forward to just checking it out and seeing what it's like. Well, Winthrop is pretty much exactly how it was described to me. You have the wooden sidewalks. It's all very Old West style, but it's not too overdone, in my opinion. There are places that can overdo it a little bit, I think. This seems pretty nice. It's got to be pretty awesome in the summertime, too. I'll have to come back. Cool. I'm going to have to get ready for the show here.
Words now, I don't know which ones to choose now. Well, I don't think it matters, 'cause I really don't think that I can lose now. Well, maybe it was a Harley that made me act this way instead again. And maybe it was my patience that brought haste to what I said. Well, I'm trying not to care, but it all keeps running through my head. How I woke in the afternoon with no worries on my mind, and I looked on over. That's something in the keep it loose. And I don't think that with it I'll be tying my own noose, no. See, I make my way through the day, trying to keep myself amused, yes. This is how I do it now. It's like this. Thank you very much, guys.
Morning, everybody. Headed back to home base after a really good show at the old Schoolhouse Brewery. Something interesting happened last night, and it looks like this episode is gonna go a little bit longer than I planned. Vintage Vino and Espresso in Maple Valley, which is pretty close to where I live, messaged me last night on Facebook to ask me if I had today open and if I could play. It was sort of a last minute thing, and luckily I did. I didn't have this day booked because Brenna was going to come back she was going to fly back from the east, so I thought I was going to have to pick her up, but she came back last week. So luckily for everyone, I have this day available and I can play tonight, so that's the plan. Made it back to the home base. I'm back at the Crow's Nest right now after a fairly easy drive over the Snoqualmie Pass. It was easier than yesterday, that's for sure. Now I'm just going to clean up and chill until it's time for me to go to Vintage Vino and Espresso in Maple Valley. Really cool night tonight. It was a really cool weekend. Last night in Winthrop, packed house in Old Schoolhouse Brewery. Tonight in Maple Valley, packed house at Vintage Vino and Espresso, and people just kept coming in. Just bring them in, left and right. Bus them in. The bus just dropped them off at the front door, it seemed like, and they just filtered right in, and I was cool with it. I was cool with it because they were all incredible people. It was very cool to see so many great people and meet so many new fans, hopefully. That's right, you guys. So a nice group of people came in at the end, and hopefully I'll see them next week in Monroe. I better see you guys next week in Monroe. At the end there, I had a request for a slow dance encore. So I played Sincere Dreamland while everyone did a slow dance, and that was pretty cool. And I got a nice letter from one of the people who came, and she, hopefully she's a new fan. I think you're a new fan, Ellen. She gave me a letter, and I think I think this is what she does. She gives letters to people, and it was a really nice letter, a really nice pick-me-up, happy, you know. It was a good letter. I hope she comes across your path someday and she gives you a letter too, because that was really nice. Well, next weekend it's Monroe and we're doing it all over again, and it's gonna be just as fun. I'll see you then. That's what I'm talking about.